Okay, let's see if we can get the stream to hold. I keep forgetting whether I need to be on my mobile data or if I need to be on Wi-Fi. But I want to show you guys I want to show you guys a few things that you can use in your magical practice. So first of all, I want to start off with the king of, I'm going to put a quarter here just so you guys can see for size. All right. The first thing I want to show you is the king of the roots. The king of the roots, the quintessential root in spiritual work is, of course, the High John root. All right, that's High John right there. All right, that's a High John root. That's a smaller one. All right, and here is a really, really big one. This one is massive. Look at that. That one is huge. All right, that is a huge High John root. All right, so High John is known as, or King John is known as the king of the roots. There really is no type of magic that you cannot perform with a simple High John root. Anything from money work to love work, control, protection, empowerment, you name it. High John root is the quintessential root. All right, and they vary in size from one, probably the size of a dime, to one, this is a big mammoth, okay, of a High John root. Now, there are different, High John root does have a different types of gender, all right? So the more rounder roots, like this one here, are considered the female High John root. And then you have some that are more, let's see here, more angular or phallic in representation, like this one, okay, that is seen to be a male High John root, okay. So we have the High John root, and we have two High John roots. Here's a female High John root and a male High John root. All right, that's what they look like, okay. Put those back there, and put these over on top of that, like so. Okay. All right. So right next to High John, which is the king of the roots, you can call him the king of the roots. You have Queen Elizabeth root. All right. This is Queen Elizabeth root, and Queen Elizabeth root is very good for all women-related situations, anything from women's empowerment to motherhood to just throwing her command in a room and in a space. It's the feminist root. Okay, this is Queen Elizabeth root, also known as Orris root, O-R-R-I-S, the Orris root. All right, very good for all matters of women and women's concern. All right. Another root from the John family, we have his brother over here. We've got High John, and then we have his brother Low John root. This one's been shaved down. I use it for powder. Low John root is a relative of the ginger plant, and you start breaking these open and shaving them down, you'll definitely can see the smell and feel the resemblance between them. They're also known as chewing John. Again, it being related to the ginger family, it does have an edible quality to it. All right, and chewing John or Low John is really for keeping your opponents, your competitors, your enemies at bay, obstacles at bay. I like to tell my students that High John keeps you high and Low John keeps them low. Okay. Also very good for matters of court case and legal proceedings. one of the old time spells calls for a chewing of chewing John as you are approaching the courtroom steps, and as you call out the prosecutor or the opposing force, you call out their names or the name of the judge, and you spit out Lo John out of your mouth as you call out their name, as if to spit on their name and to keep them. Then you step on your spittle to kind of keep you one step ahead of them. So Lo John's very, very good for court case situations and for forms of competition in one way or another, but very good for court case whenever you're being opposed, all right, in any professional way. All right, so that's Lo John and his brother High John. There's actually another John called Dixie John, but that right now. All right, another root obviously is called root work, because we work with a lot of roots, and one of my favorite, because I have lots of different kinds of clients that have a lot of different types of needs, and some people may what do I want to say? Anyway, some people may have an issue with using this root in this particular way, but what you can use is Jezebel root. What did he say? Jezebel root. All right. Jezebel root. There it is there. All right. Very good in different spiritual formulas like what they call Cleo May. You may have heard of Cleo May oil. Cleo May oil is, or Cleo May products, or the formula, all right, is used to draw customers and clientele, right? Particularly in situations like sales, and it's very, very good. It's one of those women's roots as well, all right? One of those women's roots. Just like you can definitely use Queen Elizabeth root and Jezebel root together. They work very powerfully together. But this is traditionally used. It was given to women of the night, to put it nicely, or prostitutes, escorts, that kind of a thing, sex workers. So they could draw trade, right? They could draw more clients, more consistent clients to them, okay? And there are a lot of different works, including Jezebel root, whether it's put as a powder, which she dusts her body with, or she may dust her bed linens with, all right? When she goes to work, so that when the man leaves, he has that feeling he wants to come back. He can't resist her. She's irresistible, that kind of thing. Jezebel root also is to draw men who are not yours, okay? Jezebel root is definitely brings out the seductress of a woman, that very empowered she is a master of her own sexuality. That type of energy is pulsating through the Jezebel root. You can also make take a little piece of Jezebel root and make a little anklet out of it. Back in the day, in some cultures of the world, the anklet was a symbol of a sex worker. All right, in the ancient cultures, women would have little bells, little bell charms on their anklets, and so they would walk the streets at night, and the men would hear the ringing of the bells, so they would leave their wife and go, take care of business. All right. So in some cultures of the world, that's the origin of their anklet. So just definitely can put an anklet on with Jezebel root. All right. So Jezebel root is very, very good for that. And there's also, you can actually use it to in hexing work for more aggressive spells. But I won't get into that. I'm not going to be giving away those types of stuff on, just in the public like that. But there goes Jezebel root. Very, very strong stuff. Again, very powerful for women's work. All right. Very powerful for women's work. All right. Okay. Now I want to show you what is called lucky hand root. You can probably see it more in this one than in that one, but it's called lucky hand root, and it looks like a little hand, doesn't it? Let me use your imagination. You can look like a little hand, like it's grasping something. All right. This is the lucky hand root, and it's used in gambling work, games of chance, games of probability. Whether you're playing spades or throwing the dice or pool or betting on the next game or whatever. Bingo makes no difference. Scratch offs, whatever your it's the little hand, right? Lucky hand root. So you would certainly have this on your person. You can dress it with certain, success products or success formula or fortune and luck formula. I like to use. I like to have these wrapped in a Jupiter seal because Jupiter is a planet for luck and for fortune drawing. All right. You can definitely learn it with some Jupiter oils and things of that nature. And yes, where can you get these? I'm going to recommend Miss Rains Conjure. You guys follow her on Instagram. I've followed her from afar for some time now, but I actually started doing business with her like the past month or so. And I have to say, she has really impressed me. If you're not familiar with Mrs. Rain, you may be familiar with Living Joyful on Periscope. My good friend Reverend Joyce. All right, this is her spiritual godmother out in Staten Island. Been there for probably as long as the island was there. But this is her card. You guys want to take a screenshot of that? Tell her that Dr. Cosmic sent you. There goes her card there. Miss Rains Conjure. And if you are a wholesaler or if you are a practitioner yourself, then she can even give you some even more special deals, just between us. All right. Tell them that Doc sent you, Dr. Cosmic Nawaji sent you. I'm also on Instagram, so follow me there as well. So that's actually, she's actually the one who actually gave me this lucky hand root. All right, is this new age thing? There's nothing new about any of this. Stuff is very, very old. Stuff was here before I got here. We're talking about roots at the moment. This is the lucky hand root for the same reason I mentioned earlier. Okay. So we talked about the king of the roots. Let me show you the master of the roots. This right here is called master root. And you can see this thing is huge. This thing really is massive. It's about the size of my hand. And it has, kind of like an octopus or squid type looking root to it. You can have, taken some piece of this off. And that was I'm telling you, it is darn near impossible to find a whole root like this. You may get the little, pieces like this, but to get a whole root, you're very hard pressed to find. This is a very, very fresh root. It smells like almost like maple syrup. That's what I've heard some people say. It smells like maple syrup. I think it smells like something else. I just can't put my finger on it. But it has a very spicy scent. All right. This is called master root. I was going to explain. We do this. Yeah, sure. Hey there. Hey, love. This is master root, all right? And it's very good for any situation you want to have mastery in, all right? Anything you want to be a master at, whether it is in your particular trade, in your skill set, in your industry, in a particular relationship. Maybe you need to have a more masterful presence in the boardroom. Whatever you can benefit from having mastery in, you want to have master root, all right? Magic, I mean, call it what you want to call it. So back in the day, I'm talking about like old school. I'm talking about back on the plantations back in the day. Okay. They would work this root in an interesting way. All right. The way I was told was that, it was very, in many places in the South, Massa was a temperamental, You can get this root actually in the U.S. as a matter of fact. I do have some Nigerian and some things from Uganda and Brazil and some other exotic things, but I won't show them on here. Back in the day, Master was very, very temperamental, and even if you were, Mammy, as they called her, the head woman of the big house, where Master lived, you could be, put out. So what she would do is she would get something of the master and the master's family, all right, he and his children and his wife or what have you, and she would go out and dig up this root, all right, and she would tie, their articles inside the root, all right, and then bury it back in, all right, and water that, all right. Now, one reason why it's called the master root or master hand root, do I mean mandrake? Now I have mandrake. This is not mandrake. This is master root. It's because it looks like a hand. You ever heard somebody say wrapped around your finger? Well, now you know where that concept comes from, right? They would wrap them around I call them the little tentacles, all right, of the master root. Now, if you're in business and you have subordinates under you, all right, you're a supervisor or manager, whatever the case may be. Maybe you have some difficult employees. Well, then you can certainly take their names or any appropriate concerns of theirs and wrap it, in between here, or stick it, or just their name paper, their picture, stick it in between here. You can have this wrapped up. I like to wrap it up in like purple felt. If you really want to get fancy, you can get purple silk. All right. Purple is a very royal, masterful, commanding type of color. And keep this in your drawer. Obviously, you can't wear this on your purse. It's very, very huge. But keep this in your drawer, right? And as long as they're there, they'll stay wrapped around your finger, and they'll be more acquiescent to your requests of them. So that is master root. And, there we go. That is master root. Are we backwards now? I need us to be upright. There we go. All right, so what I've done here is one of the ways I use these, I make powders from them. All right, so you can certainly take a cheese grater. I'm telling you, it's going to be your best friend. They're like $2 from Walmart. Get your stainless steel cheese grater and begin to grate them into a powder. All right. And so you can take that powder and dust your hand with it. And before you want to go through your influence over a person, then you would shake their hand with this dusted powder on your hands, right? Look them right in the eye and tell them what, you want to say to them. All right. That's another way you can use master root. Okay. And of course, you can definitely use these in different amulets and so on. All right. So there goes the master root, all right? So what happens if the police pull you over for drug possession? Well, if you follow my instructions, you won't get pulled over. That's the first thing, okay? But if you've already been pulled over, okay, then you're going to need something to help you out of litigation. I've already mentioned what I want to say, something like a Low John root, for example, okay, which is very good in litigation situations, legal matters. All right. You guys I'll give you one other botanical here. This is, they call this if you're one of those fancy types, they call it the horse chestnut, okay. But if you're down here from the country in the south like I am, we call it a buckeye. We call it a buckeye. All right, and you can, see why it's called a buckeye. All right, and these actually have a very strong Jupiter energy to them. Jupiter vibration. These are from a Jupiter vibration, and as you can probably guess, very good for luck. As I said before, Jupiter is a planet of luck and good fortune and a turning of and a removing of misfortune. So, this is carried on the person to bring luck. And by luck, I mean let me just kind of um, dispel something, what I actually mean when I say luck. So the formula for luck is when preparation meets opportunity. All right. So a lot of times we encounter opportunities that we're just not prepared for. Okay. We're just not prepared for. And we call that where we're in an unlucky situation. So what these curios and these items do is they just draw, they attract opportunities that you're already primed and prepared and ready for. That's what we call a lucky situation. Or it was just lucky I was here, or I had a lucky break. You can call it that. It's not random. You just attracted to yourself an opportunity that you're already prepared for. All right. So this increases the probability of you walking into situations, circumstances, opportunities, scenarios that you are very prepared for. Now, this is not a chestnut. Now, they call them horse chestnuts, but no, it's not the same chestnut, no. It's a different kind. Roast over open fire like at Christmas time. All right, so there goes we call them Buckeyes. All right. And depending on where you are in the U.S. or where where your people are from, they may have different names for the different folk names. I'm going to two more things. I'm going to get out of here. Get into some of the minerals here. I don't really use a lot of crystals and so on. Some people, they're very, very big on crystals, and that's their prerogative. But there are a couple of minerals that I do use. One of them is pyrite. Pyrite we know as fool's gold, right? Known as fool's gold. And actually, pyrite can be used to hex somebody. Interestingly enough, a lot of people don't know that. But it's very well known as a money drawing material. Okay. It definitely gives a resemblance of gold. Obviously, it's not as actually one of the sulfates. A lot of people don't know that. So if you burn pyrite, it'll give off a rotten egg smell because it's a sulfate mineral. But anyway, a lot of people use pyrite in money work and aren't really sure why, besides the fact that it looks like gold. But I'll tell you why we use it in money work, because it's fool's gold, and the fool's gold is here so that you don't make foolish decisions with your money. So if you have issues with money management or budgeting, or you're a splurger and you need something to kind of, have you snap out of the enchantment of the window shopping, then pyrite is for you. Pyrite helps prevent you from becoming a fool with your money, to become wise with your money. All right. That's why it's called the fool's gold. All right. If you work with pyrite and you learn the lesson of pyrite to not be a fool with your money, then eventually you will actually get actual gold. So if you think about it, pyrite is a teacher. It's a guardian of you until you're able to amass the wealth to actually buy and secure gold. So it's the fool's gold. It's the starting gold. It's what you begin with. You sow pyrite and you reap gold, is what one of my friends told me. All right. So pyrite is fool's gold, not only because you got fooled by it, but so that you won't be fooled with your money. In other words, you won't have bad money investment. You won't go follow up, Bay and his hustles, hey, cuz, I got this new thing, that kind of thing. You won't fall into all those kinds of things, all right? Those scams and things like that, poor investments of your money. So you want to get pyrite. Also, the last one I want to show here is magnetite, or AKA a lodestone. And I really, really love lodestones. Really, really love lodestones. A lodestone is a magnetic material. The way I heard is that it was an iron ore that was struck by lightning and produced a magnetic charge. But here's the very fascinating thing about lodestone. I always like to tell people lodestone is a God magnet. Lodestone is a God magnet. Because man-made magnets have polarity to them. They have a north pole and a south pole. In other words, they can attract and they can repel. And that's just part of our dual nature as, human beings. Everything we make has a good and a bad side to it. But these natural magnets, these lodestones, do not repel. They only attract. So they're very good for money situation. When you want to draw in more money or draw an opportunity or even draw in a new love interest or an old love interest, in which case you would have two lodestones together, right? And they would always draw things. It always has a magnetic charge to it. So you can use one lodestone to draw money, two lodestones to draw love. All right. And similar to the John root, I've actually got a similar to the John roots. They also have like a gender to them. So your more rounder lodestones are going to be your female lodestone, especially if you're doing, working in the love department. You want to have a male lodestone or a female lodestone, or if you're that's if you're heterosexual. If you're not, you may get two female lodestones, two male lodestones, etc. Actually, show you guys one of my bigger ones. Okay, that's a smaller one. Here is a very, very big lodestone. All right, part of my lodestone altar. You can actually build altars around these, which I always recommend my clients to do, and they want to just keep wealth coming into the house on a consistent basis. And you also want to have your what they call lodestone feed, or magnetic sand, which is nothing more than iron filings. All right, and they call it feeding the lodestone by giving it magnetic sand. All right, and you just say your intention that lodestone, as I feed you, so will you feed me. As I feed you, so will you feed me. As I keep you fed, so will you keep me fed. You'll feed me with fine things. You'll feed me with more customers, better clients, etc. All right. So you can see how it definitely is a very strong lodestone because it can keep the feed on it. It can keep the iron filings on it. You dress these with whiskey or a gin or any strong spirit about once a week, and keep them fed about once a week, and you can smoke them with the cigar here. I'll just demonstrate here. You can smoke them with a cigar. Like so. All right. And keep them, dressed and fed. And as long as they are staying, as long as you're keeping, feed on them and they stay strong, so they'll keep your drawing power also strong. You can put under here, your business card. You can begin to build a money altar. I'll show you guys one of the ones I have. I've got an even bigger one I can't even move. All right, so here's an example of a lodestone altar. All right here. Let's see if I can bring this back a little bit here. Lodestone altar. So this is actually made in a coconut husk. I reuse everything. All right, because coconuts are connected to the mind and to the head. So, hey, Tamisha. So I have here one of my fetishes that I make here for money drawing. All right, that's anchored to a spirit. We've got a petition paper, all right, and name paper. Obviously, we got cinnamon, good for everything, really. You can add cinnamon to anything. I've got golden nutmeg that I've encased in gold. All right. This also, you guys know, you should know what that is by now. That's a buckeye. All right. I've got another charm here with it's an owl's claw, and then it's a $20 bill and a golden dollar. I've got, as you can see, a magnetite there, a lodestone with magnetic feed. I've got gold, all right, real gold and silver. I've got lucky money rice, Chinese money rice. Obviously, you can see my lodestone, other lodestones here. So I got all kinds of little things. Obviously, got, real money in there. All right. I've got a big, huge magnet under here also. So a lot of other things I have in here. This is just one of many of my money lodestone altars that I recommend all of you guys, build a lodestone altar, right? And keep it fed and keep it dressed. And actually, we'll do that right now. I will pour a little oil, all right, in here. All right, just to keep everything. I probably need, and there goes some Irish moss there. Irish moss is good for trapping money. So you don't, in other words, a lot of people, they can attract money, but they can't keep it. Irish moss helps you to keep your money. Forms a net for it so it doesn't go flying everywhere, How many of y'all have been through that where you get a big break and then all of a sudden, the car breaks down or something. There's always some need for money to be going out of your hand, So that helps with that. I'm also going to put a little piece of master root in here as well. All right. Piece of master root here. I'm going to wrap this around this master root. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Just like that. Just like that. And watching me working my kanji in real time, right? I did not plan on doing all this. I'm gonna wrap it towards me here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me get some thread. I just had some thread that I guess this will work. I guess this will work. So more than I needed, but we'll make it work. All right, just like that. Tie it down real tight. Tie it down real tight. I'm just gonna wrap this towards me. Nothing really fancy. All right, make a little charm just like that, right? Just wrap it around the master root, just like that. You're gonna stick that in there, just like that. And gonna add some of our money drawing oil. Our money drawing oil here, and well, I do have if you're serious about that, I do have an apprenticeship program that has been started. So if you're interested in being a part of that, it's not free. I'm telling you that right now. Definitely reach out to me, and we will put you in the lineup and do an interview process and do a divination and see if I'm supposed to be your teacher. That's for anybody. If anybody's interested in learning this as I do it, because I'm not going to teach you how anybody else does, I'm going to teach you how I do it. Then reach out to me, and we'll do a divination on it, and we'll let you know if you in there. All right. So that's just giving it some oil. Want to be the dock of West Palm Beach, Florida? Okay. All right. Giving them some oil there. All right, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I spent way more time than I needed to doing this, and I got some people waiting for me to give them some emails back and some callbacks. If you have, let's see here. There we go. Here I am. If you have any questions or comments or inquiries about anything here, where to find some of this stuff, want me to make a charm for you, if you want to book a consultation, or how you can bring natural energies into your life to produce a certain miracle, a certain effect for you, just reach out to me. I think my website and everything is still in the description box. You can go to drnawaji.com, DOKTOR, New Age, NEWAGE.com. It'll bring up my blog, and you should see me pop up and say, hey, talk with me, or send me a message. Click that and send me a message, and we can hash it out from there. In the meantime, I do wish you guys incredible energy on this eclipse and on this Friday the 13th. I wish all of you guys are safe, and God bless you all forever.